Hello folks, Rob aka MaximumRD. Before we begin, just a big thank you so much to this fellow username 8-bit on the Atari Age forums. He is the fellow that shipped me the two massive packages that you are about to see. And I just wanted to say, let me position you all here so you have the best view. I just wanted to say that he did take quite a hit on the shipping from US to Canada because of the size and weight of the packages. So, once again, thank you so much for a great deal on this package that you are all about to see. I'll speed it up because I've pre-cut the package. It's all ready to show you the wonderful contents inside. Okay, so I've pre-cut everything. You don't have to wait for that. I'll get right to it, starting off with the main product in this box. The first package. I've put the camera back a bit so you can get a good viewing angle. Hopefully lighting is in the right direction. I know in the past I've had some bad, very bad lighting, background lighting. But this time I wanted to make sure you got the full effect. This was a really good deal because it was in excellent condition from the pictures and description that I had seen, and just a good deal, good price. There's a very more than fair fellow who shipped me these and shipped this package to me. It is the start of a brand new entry in my console collection. Oh, dropped the cartridge. So this is, as you can see, super well packed as to maintain the quality in condition. Don't worry, I'm being very careful, folks. Wouldn't that be something, eh? All this bubble wrap to get it to me beautifully, and then I just completely scratch it up by cutting too deep. That's not going to happen. Alright. Okay. There we go. And one more layer. Behold, in all its glory. I can lift it here. Yes. The black monolith. Doom doom doom. The Atari 5200. The original 4-port console version. Plastic, original plastic, still covering the aluminum-looking plate right here, keeping the scratches off of it. 4 ports. Wow, I've never actually held one of these. Yeah, it's pretty heavy, but obviously with its size and from the time period it was built, very sturdy. So that's it. Excellent condition. Very happy with that. There's a lot more to see here, folks. Oh, RF cable to hook up. And yeah, this is the original 4-point. Why do I keep saying point? See, I'm so excited. 4-port version that has the odd RF / power supply. That again, another thing that people are not too happy about. I wanted the original model with its odd adapter RF switch box and everything, because I wanted the original experience, with the only exception being that this is known as the asterisk model, which means that Atari had made a little modification on it because the original units were not compatible with the VCS adapter, which would of course allow you to play the original 2600 games on the 5200. This has been modified to give it back the same compatibility that the later version has, the 2-port model. Alright, so I'm just going to reach into the second box here. The lid's already open. And go through some of the items. Let me see how much time I have left. I did not expect taking so much time to open the package. 8 minutes. Okay, so we got 15 nowadays. So let's see if we can do it. So let me take out some of these styrofoam items. Okay, I'll just get through them as quickly as I can. I'm going to show you the next big part right here. There we go. Alright, let's do this right this time. Tape off. I believe this is the next biggest piece. Now, I've never owned anything to do with the Atari 5200 system. Yep, this is it. Oh, I did this one much better. Won't take it long, and there we go. Look at that. Cool. That's the Atari 5200 trackball controller with its own built-in keypad, fire buttons, start, pause, and reset. Right there, the controller. It's a very specific pin input for the Atari 5200. There you go. Roller controller, trackball controller for the Atari 5200. Plastic, once again, is still on the aluminum logo right here. Very nice, sturdy, a good weight, so that'll stay in place as you're using it for games. Excellent. Now, I wanted to point out, if there's anything detachable, I wanted to point out that I do not, at this moment, have an actual Atari 5200 control pad, a regular control pad. My thought being, once again, as I said, this package didn't come with that, but I have one on the way from Best Electronics, and not just any one, but one that has been refitted with the gold contacts on the inside to improve responsiveness and durability in the long run. They're highly recommended by everyone. I've heard nothing but good things about them. So, I mean, the only option was to try to hunt down some controllers on eBay, probably pay too much for them, and then they're not going to be probably working very well. This is the biggest fault of the Atari 5200 from what I'm understanding. But you know, if you were to manage to get them brand new, they would work well for a time. But even people, many people who've even owned them, you know, they have to admit that after some time, the original controllers will start to develop problems, responsiveness, and certain issues. The controllers were very innovative for the time, but by including the you know, all these new ideas and technologies of the day, it was almost kind of like you know, you were getting a testing product, a beta product that was interesting at first, had some unique features, but they had their problems too, and they didn't last in the long run. So, you know, if I would have found brand new ones on eBay and paid too much for them, they still, in the long run, would have developed issues. But apparently the ones that Best Electronics, wow, that looks like new, that Best Electronics adds gold contacts to, and I think there's some other enhancements. The durability on them are far, far superior, and they work really well. So I'll have to wait for the regular controller. That's a heavy power supply. That's something else I didn't know. It was a typical power supply for 80s consoles, but this one's probably one of the heaviest So as you can see, you have this wire coming out, would fit into your outlet, and then this one plugs into the switch box for your video, fits into the switch box in the back of your television, and that's the one where they've said, well, you know, people have complained, oh, you'll get a spark when you plug it in, and there's rumors that, you know, people had fires and burned down their houses, but for the most part, most people say those stories are exaggerated. A lot of times those kind of stories are passed on by people who've never even had an Atari 5200. And basically most people just say, you know what? Plug this end of the adapter into your into the RF switch box before you plug this into the wall. And you're not going to see any spark because it'll already be connected, right? So, bunch of nice features here. Whole bunch of manuals. Tons of manuals for some of the games included that you will see. Manuals, some, I believe there's some overlays. Yeah. I know he said he just included some extras he had lying around too. So let's make sure there's nothing else in here. Okay. Now, a couple more big ones here. I didn't plan this very well. I was just so excited. I cut the tape beforehand, hoping to save time. And there's the switch box for your video and audio signal. This goes to your television. That's from the power adapter. Plug the cable line in if you need it. Switch between channel 3 and 4. Not on the unit, but on the switch box itself. And then this cord goes to your system. And that's it. So power and RF switch box. We'll have a closer look at those features later on. And this one here, I know what this is, I can tell by the shape. Let's get this open here. Aha. Now I have many ways to play Atari 2600 cartridges. No original Zader, no 6-switch or 4-switch, but I have the module on the ColecoVision, Sears Video Arcade 2, Atari 7800. I have an Atari Junior on the way from another fellow on Atari Age, and I also now have this. So when all's said and done, I should always have a way to play Atari 2600 games. And this is it right here. The VCS cartridge adapter, which I believe for all intents and purposes is pretty much a self-contained Atari 2600 in itself. Much like the, and if I'm wrong, correct me on this, much like the ColecoVision expansion module. It's a self-contained unit that just draws its power and audio-video connections from the console. So you plug that into the slot, then you can plug an Atari 2600 cartridge right on top there, and away you go. Atari 2600 and 5200 games on one console. Wow. Okay. Now, that's it. The only thing left is the games. Let me take a peek at the remaining time. 16 minutes. We're done. I'll come back with games. Yeah, I'll edit it to bring this down to 15 minutes, and maybe the length of time it took me to open the package for the 5200, and I'll be back with a second video exclusively for the games. Thank you.